I'm Emma from Women's Heritage, and today we're going to make an acorn squash apple galette. So to get started, you'll just need a pastry crust. You can make your own. I happen to have made a sourdough pastry crust, or you can have a pre-made pastry crust ready to go. So what you'll need is a little bit of flour so that you can roll out the pastry crust. You're going to need a half of a red onion, a half of an apple, a half of an acorn squash, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, a little bit of crumbled blue cheese, about 1/3 cup, and then a teaspoon each of fresh thyme, rosemary, and sage. So what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle some flour in a circle. You want to make sure the surface is really nice and covered with flour. And then you're going to start rolling it out. I like to roll from the center and then move forward. That helps us get a lot more even dough. And then I'll even add a little bit more flour. Kind of sprinkle it all around and dust it. And then again, I'm just going to start moving middle outward. You're going to keep doing this until it gets to about 1/8 of an inch. So now that our pastry dough is ready, it's about 12 inches in diameter and about 1/8 of an inch thick. What we're going to do is we're going to transfer it to a cookie sheet that is lined with parchment paper. The way I like to do this is I like to fold it in quarters. And then it just transfers really nicely to the cookie sheet. Our next step is we want to turn the oven on to 400 degrees. Let's make our filling. We're going to cut this acorn squash up into slices, about 1/2 of an acorn squash. So now that it's open, you'll see that there are a lot of really great seeds here. I like to save my seeds and roast them. So I'm just going to take a bowl and scoop out the seeds. And while I'm doing this, I really want to make sure that all of the pith is out of the acorn squash. Next, I'm just going to cut this acorn squash really thinly into slices. What makes this really nice is that I don't have to peel the acorn squash. Now that it's all cut up, I'm just going to put it right into a big bowl so that we can toss it with all the other ingredients in just a bit. Now I'm going to take a red onion. I'm just going to slice half of this red onion. Now we're just going to put this red onion right in the bowl with the acorn squash. Now I'm going to cut up 1/2 of an apple. The apple too, you can just keep the skin on. We're going to cut up some fresh herbs. So the thyme, the rosemary, and the sage. We're just going to toss this right into the bowl with the acorn squash, onions, and apples. Now I'm just going to coat it with a little bit of melted butter, about 3 tablespoons. And I'm going to season it with some salt and pepper. Now we're just going to toss. So now I'm ready to put the filling into the crust. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to fold the dough over. You might have to pile it up top a little. Now it's ready to go into the oven. We're going to put it in for about 50 minutes. We're just going to take it out. Add about 1/3 cup of blue cheese. Just going to sprinkle it around generously. We're going to put it in the oven for about 5 more minutes. It's been 5 minutes. We're just going to take it out. It smells really good. So here we have our acorn squash apple galette. Thank you for watching.